Hello everyone, Ron Johnson here from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and if you're looking for tips and strategies to help with your learning, you are in the right place. This morning I received a message, a question actually, in my inbox from an adult student, and he was wondering how can he make sure that he writes in complete sentences. He's worried about sentence structure and says he often writes in incomplete sentences. This is a problem for a lot of students, so it was a very good question. I have made other videos and blogs about sentence structure, so you might want to check those out. If you're watching on YouTube, you can check the videos here, and if not, you can check out the blog on the website. I will leave a link for that below. I want to mention two main points in this video today. The first is that each of your sentences should have at least one subject and one predicate. And the subject is the who or what is acting in the sentence or being acted upon if it's a passive sentence. Remember, in academic writing, try to stay with the active. So the subject is the who or what. The predicate is what the subject is doing or what's happening to the subject. So for example, Ron went shopping at the mall. Ron is the subject because that's the who in the sentence, and went shopping at the mall is the predicate because that is what he did, or that was the action he took. So you have a subject and you have a predicate. You want to check your sentences, make sure that each one has at least one subject and at least one predicate. Sentences can have more than one subject and one predicate. However, that doesn't solve the whole problem, unfortunately. It's not quite that simple, because you can add other words, subordinating words, that will turn an independent clause into a dependent clause. An independent clause is basically a complete sentence. A dependent clause depends on something else. So that means it's not complete. It's an incomplete sentence. So for example, if I said, after the torrential rainstorm moved through town, that sounds like a sentence. However, it's incomplete. The thought is incomplete. So what happened after the torrential rainstorm moved through town? What I suggest to my students is, you can actually talk to another person, but imagine you're talking to a friend or talking to someone, and read the sentence that you've written down. Does it make sense by itself? If you read it, or if you say it aloud, because often if you say it aloud, it becomes clearer to you that when you got to the end of the sentence that I just said, it doesn't make sense because we're waiting for more. The listener would be waiting for more information. What happened after the torrential rainstorm moved through town? We're missing that piece of information. Now, I know sometimes students have a difficult time with this, because there are times when you have a complete sentence, but the full meaning depends on the context of other sentences around it. So does that mean it's incomplete? No. It is complete, but it might not tell the whole story, especially if you're telling a story, you need many sentences. Still, you should be able to, when you say the sentence aloud, you should be able to tell with some accuracy whether or not the listener will understand what that sentence means. He or she might have questions about the context, about more, but that sentence in itself makes sense. So after the torrential rainstorm moved through town, all the soccer games were canceled. Something like that. So now we know, we have a complete sentence. Now we might want more information. Did they make up the games later? Or what happened to the participants? But the sentence by itself makes sense. So it's now an independent clause. In other words, a complete sentence. So this is a short video today, but two things to watch out for. Always proofread your writing. Check to make sure that each of your sentences has at least one subject and one predicate, and that they are independent clauses. In other words, they can stand on their own. Usually, if you have, usually the reason they wouldn't be is because you have put in a subordinating word, like because, or after, or since. One of these words will turn it into a dependent. The easiest way to tell, in my opinion, is to read it aloud or say it aloud and see if it makes sense without any of the other sentences. You just read that one sentence. Does that make sense by itself? Okay, If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Click on the subscribe button as well. It will really help with the algorithm and move the channel up in the standings. That will help me to reach more people and to teach more people. That's always a good thing. Click the notification bell too if you want notifications when new videos are posted. In the meantime, have fun writing, check your sentences, make sure that you have independent clauses, but never give up. It's Ron from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and until next time, keep learning and keep having fun. Bye-bye.